welcome to Low Sensory Adaptive Yoga at Mind Body Solutions. I'm Audrey. I'm joining from France. So we in that weird week in between various holidays, whatever you celebrate or not, and the end of the year, New Year's Day, which is now in a few days. So it's kind of it can be quite a reflective time. So we're gonna explore the Gayatri Mantra again. I'll put it in the chat, and if you practicing with me at the recording, you'll have it as a reference in the comments. But to start with, we're gonna move because we've been chatting a little bit. So let's just like maybe sway from side to side or back and forth. You can do that seated, or if you're lying down, maybe you're just kind of finding a wavy kind of movement or moving your head side to side, which you can do seated as well. Maybe you're doing a pressure relief, especially if you're in a wheelchair, you've been sitting like me for a while, and your bottom is starting to get a little bit sore. Your spine is a little bit crunchy. Basically, any movement so that we can have a little bit of a centering, then we'll do a little bit more slow movements. And then we'll go into guided meditation, restorative practice for a little while. So anything that feels good at the moment, don't even think about it. Just go with your intuition, go with what your body is asking for. Big stretch, cracking the joints gently, no pain. And then find your seat. And your seat can be standing, it can be wheeling around, rolling around, it can be lying down, or it can be an actual seat on the bed, on the chair, the couch. I'm moving about, I'm placing my pillows so that my spine is supported. And then we start to arrive. Maybe with a big exhale, as I just did. Again, maybe finding that connection with your body already, that intuition that's coming through. We're going to talk a little bit about that with the Gayatri Mantra. Maybe your eyes are closed, or you're finding a soft gaze, maybe away from the screen. Or finding something nice to look at, maybe outside a window, or an object that you have nearby that brings you some joy. Really anything that will bring you some comfort right now. Let's start to let go, letting go of what happened before, and letting go of what will happen after, however exciting that may be. At the moment, we're here all together. Isn't that amazing? All across the world, practicing together. In this present moment, in our present body, in our present mind, present soul and spirit. Welcoming all parts of yourself to the practice. Even the parts that maybe sometimes we don't like so much. The pain, the discomfort. Welcoming the parts that we do love. Our compassion, our joy. Our beautiful curly hair, whatever it is, bringing and welcoming all these parts to the practice. Connecting to your body through maybe sensations, how it's feeling, what is your experience right now. Having a little check-in. Whether you are still or moving or something in between. Whether your mind is racing. That's all good. Checking in without judgment, but rather with a sense of curiosity. With a sense of compassion for this current experience. And then maybe you're connecting to your breath. The pace, the rhythm, the depth of your breath. Anything you may notice. What is your experience with your breath right now? And again, with a sense of curiosity rather than judgment. Maybe you already would like to invite some softer, deeper breath. Now we can start to let go, to relax, to find some rest and comfort. A deeper inhale, deeper exhales, finding softness with that breath. Maybe you're noticing what your breath is telling you as well. One of my teachers, Mira Dawan, she says that the breath is a whole body communication. And so as we start to notice what is that breath, what is your breath telling you? Might be interesting in this period of the year as we ready to close a cycle to listen to what's happening one more time. We've been practicing this year a lot. And so let's continue to connect, to listen, pay attention to the breath. And again, without judgment. It changes all the time. It's never quite the same. So maybe it is in a way today that you may notice is not as soft as yesterday. Or maybe it is softer than yesterday. So just noticing, listening, and connecting to this beautiful movement that keeps us alive for a few more moments. If your mind wanders from that focus, that's okay. That's what minds do. So bring it back to your breath, to the inhale, the exhales, the pauses in between. Trying to give your mind a break. Just tell your brain that. Giving you a break by focusing on the inhale, the exhales, all this beautiful movement of my breath. So listen, connect to that support, that life-giving support. And then notice the movements that the breath creates in your body as it expands when you inhale. When you exhale, the spaciousness created, the fall of the abdomen. And so maybe that's enough movement for you today. Or if you'd like to move a little bit more, then I'll give you space for a few minutes to find movement that feels good to you. I'm going to offer a little flow that I'm actually going to steal from Angelique's class yesterday because it was just really good. It's really simple. We're just bringing the attention towards the sky. So you may bring the arms above your head or not, or they can be on the shoulders or on the hips. We're just trying to open already a little bit of the heart center, welcoming movements into the body. And then when you're ready, on your next breath, you go and find a side bend on any side. Maybe taking a few breaths here if that feels good, or if you're already ready to move, then come back to center with one arm, two arms, no arms, and then we're gonna go on the other side. Just trying to find some spaciousness in the spine, the upper body, and still connecting to the lower body, soles of your feet, and then coming back to center, and then we'll find a twist. So bringing one hand to the opposite knee and your chest is moving towards the sides. You can go as far or as small as you like. Again, maybe taking a few breaths here. Maybe with each exhale, you're finding a little bit more space in the chest, in the spine. It's really up to you. Or you're already back to moving to center with your hands on our hands, upper head, and then finding a twist on the other side. And again, maybe keeping it quite small amplitude and quite slow. We're just starting. You might be doing whatever you want. You don't have to do this flow. So basically, we're just raising hand, side bend, and then a twist. It's genius. It's not a lot. Doesn't look like a lot, but it's moving. Stagnant energy around, adding some softness to the spine. Getting you to connect with your breath in a different way. Don't forget your breath, please. Maybe one breath is one movement. And then maybe noticing if things are different from one side to the other. We are not symmetric. So if you are the same, then maybe you're a robot. In which case, talk to me. What are you doing here? Who are you? What's your story? I still want to hear your story if you're not a robot, by the way. And then feel free to stop whenever you've had enough. We're gonna move to restorative shape after this. So if you want to already move there, then feel free. I'm gonna carry on moving for another minute. So starting to slow down if you like to go into restorative shape, or you can carry on moving if that's what you need right now. That's absolutely fine. Take your time. For restorative, then please choose whichever shape is good for you. If you are seated, then you could find seated Shavasana. So permission to slouch, permission to find all the pillows, support your spine and your head. You could elevate the feet with a bolster or a pillow or some books or on top of a chair. You could also grab another pillow and then hug it. That can bring a lot of comfort and relief to the shoulders, and also like it's just nice and cozy. Lying down, you could find Shavasana, lying down on your back, on the side, or on the belly. And the same, find a good support for your spine so that it's aligned and supported, so that you can find some comfort but remain somewhat alert. However, if you do fall asleep, I'm not gonna get it's absolutely great. That's what your body needs. You could also find a forward fold, either seated or seated. Lying down, it would mean bringing your legs towards your chest. Child's pose is good. Baddha butterfly pose is good. Legs up the wall. You all know this. We've been practicing these for a while, so you find what works for you, knowing that you don't have to stay in that shape for the whole of the practice. You can also change at some point. You can also add some movements. And take your time. Maybe bring a blanket as well. Have a sip of water. Anything's good. And so, yeah, today we'll listen a little bit to a recording of the Gayatri Mantra. The Gayatri Mantra is a very sacred chant in Sanskrit, and it's an expression of gratitude and an expression of praise as well to our inner growth and what we've been through. So it's the end of the year. So what we've been through this year, how we've learned, how much we've learned, how much we've transformed ourselves. And it is really an invitation to expel any darkness. So if you were there on Monday, Matthew was talking about New Year's resolution. I am not a fan of resolutions, so I'm not going to talk about that. However, he did ask an interesting question, which was, what would you like to let go of next year? And as it happened, it's also the new moon on Monday, and the new moon is a really good time to connect to the shadow parts of ourselves. So the shadow parts are many things, but they can be parts of ourselves that we don't really like to look at. Whether that's because there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of trauma, there's a lot of shame, judgment. Um, it's It can be difficult to connect to this part, but there is a lot of wisdom in there as well. This is where you can grow, you can learn, you can find more compassion for yourself and for others and all these things. So maybe during this practice, as you get ready, you start getting more comfortable and we'll listen to the mantra. Maybe we can ask for that divine light to expel that darkness, those shadow parts to come through and show us the true knowledge, which is really what the Gayatri Mantra is about. So we'll connect to that energy of the new moon, we'll connect to that energy of that end of the cycle, and release anything that doesn't serve us anymore, basically. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff that I've just said. So I'm not really asking you to really think, but it's an invitation to listen to the mantra, to connect to your body, connect to that light, to your inner light, that divine light that we all have within us, and to trust that something will be released, that you don't need anymore, that you can let go of, that you can enter the new year without, whatever that is, without judgment, but rather with eyes of compassion. Okay? So again, maybe your eyes are closed or you're finding a soft gaze, finding as much comfort as you can in your shape, connecting to your body, your breath, coming back to that practice that we've had earlier with the inhale, the exhales, connecting to the movement that it creates as your prana, your life force is flowing throughout your whole body, inviting rest, inviting care. We're just getting settled, nestled, cozy for at least 12 minutes. Giving ourselves permission to rest. And I'm gonna launch the mantra in a few seconds. So keep that invitation of the divine light to guide, to add some brightness, to guide you through this new year or this new cycle.
भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्।
Maybe taking some deeper, softer breath. Offering gratitude to this year, to all that it's brought you. And as it says in the mantra, gratitude to the Divine Mother. And may your pure divine light illuminate all realms, physical, mental, and spiritual of our being. Please expel any darkness from our hearts and bestow upon us the true knowledge. Maybe taking note of what came up, if anything came up. Giving ourselves a few more moments of rest in community, connecting to that support of the collective, of the earth. And bringing your attention to your heart center and anywhere that suits you. Maybe you're placing your hand on top of each other, on top of the heart, or in Anjali Mudra, prayer pose, palms facing each other, thumbs against the heart as a gesture of gratitude. Gratitude for ourselves, for our body, minds, and all it allows us to do. Gratitude for this community, for the friendship, the wisdom, the laughter. Gratitude for the earth as it continues to hold us and support us, and the ancestors and indigenous stewards of this land for protecting it. Gratitude for these sacred practices of yoga, indigenous to South Asia, and all teachers and practitioners before us who have protected these practices so that we can still benefit from them today. I leave some space for you to add any further words of gratitude as you wish. And you may also dedicate some or all of the merit of this practice to someone, a being, a group of beings, a cause, a land that could do with some extra support. And to seal this intention, I'll offer a blessing of metta, loving kindness, which you may join or listen. Inhale to begin. May all beings everywhere with no limits, including ourselves, be happy, be well, be safe, and at ease. May all beings be free from harm and suffering. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be free and liberated. If you'd like to continue this practice and to continue to rest, then please stay where you are. Otherwise, if you're ready to come out, then please bring some gentle movement back into your body. Blinking the eyes open, welcoming back the light. Taking your time, be gentle with yourself. We've got time. And thank you so much for joining today and joining the practices this year of 2024. It's been an absolute blast, and I look forward to seeing you next week, next year. I really appreciate you and all your support, and I appreciate you showing up, and I appreciate all your efforts for growth, towards liberation for yourself and others. So thank you so much, and see you soon.